The Polestar 2 is one of the most popular used electric cars to find. But if you're looking for one used, it might be a little overwhelming because Polestar doesn't have traditional trim levels, they have option packages, and in 2024, as we can see here, Polestar made a slight refresh to the Polestar 2. So, should you consider a Polestar 2 refresh, or is an older one better for you? In this video, we'll break down all the model years of the Polestar 2 and give you some advice on which one is the best to buy. If you're new here, welcome to Ever. Whether you're looking at trading in your old EV or upgrading to a newer one, we have you covered. We have an inventory of over 200 used electric vehicles, and all of which are backed by a battery health score, a 150-point EV inspection, and a 90-day limited warranty. Ever is the best way to buy and sell electric vehicles. So first and foremost, how do we know what we're looking at is a Generation 1 Polestar 2? Well, the first really easy way to tell that we're looking at a first-gen Polestar 2 is the front grille. All of these models, the 2021 through 2023, will have a traditional looking grille. So this looks like a traditional grille you would find on an internal combustion engine vehicle. Now, contrary to some belief, this actually does work as a radiator. There is a radiator back here, and the car does need to suck in air to cool off that radiator. So this actually is functional as well. And we see right here, we have our front camera for the 360 camera and some other adaptive cruise control apparatus built inside this area right here. All model year Polestar 2s will have fog lights up front, but you will only get that if you have the Pilot package added. But overall, this is the design of the Gen 1 Polestar 2. So there's really not much that tells you this is a Gen 1 vehicle. You can also kind of tell by the wheels because different model years had different wheel colors, and also there were different exterior colors for different model years. But there is one final way to kind of have an idea of what you're looking at. And that one final thing is this little badge right here, which says battery electric vehicle, 78 kilowatt hours, that's the size of this battery pack, and 300 kilowatts. Now, if we do a quick conversion, 300 kilowatts is 408 horsepower. So from this badge alone, we know that this is the dual motor version making 408 horsepower, and it's powered by the 78 kilowatt hour battery pack. And now we can upgrade to the 2024 model year Polestar 2. Now, first things first, there's really not that many differences, but I guess the main thing you'll probably fixate to is the front grille area. So now for the 2024 model year Polestar 2, we don't have that grille on the front anymore. Instead, we have this nice clean canvas on the front area, and we still have our radar units and camera built into here. Now, if you notice, we also have some slats down there so air can go in and cool off the radiator. But overall, this whole front area just looks a lot cleaner than the older one. But overall, this design is still recognizably a Polestar. We also get some nicer looking wheel designs and different wheel designs across the board. So the 19 inches look different, and also the performance pack wheels look different. But overall from the exterior, there's really not any major changes. And things don't really change all that much on the interior either. So this specific Gen 1 Polestar 2 is a 2022 model year. And now one way to know this is because I'm sitting on the Barley Nappa leather seats. So Polestar has always offered this Nappa leather package for its Polestar 2. It was a $4,000 upcharge on top of the Plus package. So the Plus package was effectively the prerequisite to get the Nappa leather interior. Now, this Nappa leather interior was available on 2021 through 2022 Polestar 2 model years. And this is a beigeish material. It feels very nice, but the main thing is this interior is beige and you get nice kind of like birch looking wood in here. Now for the 2023 model year, you actually get what Polestar calls zinc leather. So that is like a light gray, white leather material, and you get a very light gray wood to match with it. And then the Generation 2 Polestar 2 gets black Nappa leather. So that looks pretty sporty, and basically that's an easy way to tell which model year you're looking at too, just based on what leather interior it has. Now, granted, not all Polestar 2s come with that leather interior, but if it does have the leather interior, you can easily tell what model year it is just based on looking at it. Now, hopping inside the 2024 model year Polestar 2, we have the Plus package added, which gives us the Harman Kardon sound system, glass roof, etc. And also you get this dark charcoal looking material on the seats. The interesting thing is, if you do not get the leather package like this one has, all the interiors are going to be roughly the exact same. So you have either dark gray or black interior option if you get the Plus package, and then you have a light gray or dark gray interior if you get the cloth interior on the base models. And all those interior options never really changed at all from 2021 through 2024. So interior wise, if you do not get the leather package, you really won't notice anything different. But that isn't to say there are no changes between the Generation 1 and the Generation 2 Polestar 2. In fact, there's actually a lot of changes underneath the hood and on the tech front. So, back to that little badge we saw on the Gen 1 Polestar 2 a little earlier. This one, on the 2024 model year, we see 310 kilowatts. Well, that's greater than 300 kilowatts, and this car has 416 horsepower. So this is the dual motor version, and this one has a little more horsepower. That's because Polestar beefed up the rear motor on the Polestar 2 and also gave us a new front asynchronous motor that can actually decouple itself to drive more efficiently. That's really cool. And that also means you get a little more range as well. So this Polestar 2 right here, 2024, with the same 78 kilowatt hour battery pack, can go 276 miles on a single charge, and that's also thanks to more efficient inverters. This 2022 Polestar 2 does not have the Gen 2 Powertrain editions, so you have a range of 260 miles with the all-wheel drive setup. 260 is still pretty solid, so there's not any huge complaints I have there. But where things get really different is in the lower spec Polestar 2s. Those are the ones with the front wheel drive powertrains. So for 2022 through 2023, you had a front wheel drive powertrain making 231 horsepower, and it could go on a range of around 270 miles. Overall, it was a little underwhelming, at least in terms of power delivery, just because it is front wheel drive, so the powertrain kind of struggles for traction, and Polestar actually listened. So then you have the 2024 model year, and they switched to a rear wheel drive setup. That setup has 299 horsepower, and it can accelerate to 60 in around 5.5 seconds, as opposed to around 7.5 in the front wheel drive version. Now, there was another addition with this rear wheel drive model, and that is that it came with an 82 kilowatt hour battery pack instead of the 78 kilowatt hour one. And the peak charge rate increases from 150 kilowatts to 205 kilowatts. That powertrain upgrade was a really big deal. So, in most Polestar 2s with the 78 kilowatt hour battery pack, it can charge from 10 to 80% in around 35 to 40 minutes. It was not incredibly fast at charging. It also had a peak charge rate of 150 kilowatts, but it could not hold that peak for very long. The 82 kilowatt hour battery pack helps out a lot. This new battery pack's 205 kilowatt peak charge rate means the Polestar 2 can charge from 10 to 80% in just 28 minutes. That is a really huge improvement. And that 299 horsepower rear wheel drive setup, which makes more horsepower than the front wheel drive and is quicker, can also go 320 miles on a single charge. So now for the single motor Polestar 2, not only are you getting better traction, better performance, you're also getting better range and better charging. It's a really big benefit. And the dual motor also gets a big upgrade too. So now the Pilot package, which you previously had to pay for, comes as standard with all dual motor Polestar 2s. And if you get the performance dual motor Polestar 2, you get 476 horsepower. That is a lot. And with all these upgrades, it seems like a no-brainer. Well, let me just get the 2024 model year Polestar 2. Well, there is one trade-off. All these upgrades mean the price is still a little bit more in the used market. So 2024 model years like the one behind me are still kind of well into the $30,000 range. First gen Polestar 2s, on the other hand, are a lot more affordable. Now, you can find high mileage examples for under 20,000 if you were interested, but it's really easy to find nice examples like the one behind me with tons of packages, Pilot package, Plus package, Napa leather package for under $30,000 with, in some cases, under 30,000 miles. So if you're interested in a Polestar 2 and you're under a little bit of a budget, then I recommend just getting the Gen 1. But if you're someone who would prefer the newer Polestar 2, you like the look of the new front fascia, and you would like to be guaranteed with the Pilot package if you're getting all-wheel drive, or if you would prefer the rear-wheel drive setup with the faster charging speeds, then a 2024 might be a better option for you. And overall, I think the Polestar 2 is an excellent option used, and I hope this video has helped you make your mind on which model year to consider. Thank you for watching.